Yeah, like romantically, like what does it say about me?
Yeah, definitely. So again,
Like, so
well, you were like,
like,
so when it
everything's
comes
gonna
to
be good.
yeah, all you want at the end of the day is just to cuddle on the couch with somebody you care about.
Literally. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Maximum Zach. On today's episode, we have Eleanor Gona. She's a medium, numerologist, and we get into those numbers. She did a reading, and we get what was going on in my past, like right now, and in the future. Lots of good things coming. Everything's going okay. I'm still on the dieting and exercising and drinking only water, just trying to do fucking better. I've lost like a few pounds like each week coming like so far. So that's good. Feeling good. But just gonna keep that shit up and just start dropping some lbs. Lots of changes, dude. Gotta get ripped and jacked. Not jacked, but jacked, or maybe jacked. Who knows? Well, let's go into this episode. Welcome to Maximum Zach, everyone. Today we have Eleanor Gona. She's a numerologist, intuitive.
all the things.
Yeah, she a medium.
Yes, I do that, and I do tarot and other card readings too.
Awesome. How did you get into numerology?
Interesting story. Just after my husband and I were married, we went upstate to visit his old home. He was from New York. And then he decided to call his childhood friend, see if he's still there. We got to that house, and his mother lived in the same home, and his mother was a Jewish mystic. So as we walked in, our daughter was only about maybe 2 years old, and she looks at us and says, she says, "Oh, you've been together in a past life." In my mind, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
what does that mean? I didn't know anything about past lives or anything like that. I heard of reincarnation, but that's about as far. But, we spent the weekend with them, and then she gave me 3 books, and one was a numerology book. It's not the one I'm using today, but, and by moving everywhere through the United States with the military, you lose things, and that book was the only book that I had of those 3 books. So long story short, we ended up in Pennsylvania. I started meeting all kind of people that are into intuition, energy work, mediumship, all those things. And I want to stand out a little bit different, do something different. And I picked up my numerology book again. Over the years, I did study it a little bit and play with it and do readings for friends. But then I really got into it. So now I offer readings and I teach numerology and other things.
So what is numerology, like, just in general?
So numerology, as it changed over hundreds of years, has changed in what it was used for. You'll find numerology in the Bible and stuff like that. But as we use it to understand ourselves, it's a lot like astrology, where we have numbers that are basically symbols that we derive from our birthday. Of course, it's numbers, but also our name. So we take the letters of our name, and they all have a number associated with it. So then we calculate those numbers, and we create a chart. Each number has its own vibration, or kind of like gifts and challenges, everything that you might see in a person's life in each number. So when I create a chart for anyone, I look at the numbers and how they play together. And it really does kind of show all aspects of a person's life, of you as who you are throughout your life. But then we also could look at timing in a chart, like just like astrology. There's aspects in astrology, as the planets move. They say things happen, but it's the potential of things that could happen. So it's just like that in your chart. I could create from the time you're born to 100 years, 105, however long we might live. I could look at a whole life and kind of see the potential of a year, a day, a month, whatever, that could happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So, what's the whole process like? So, how do we do this?
So, I already created your chart. I have this little nifty program on my computer that I could create a chart. And I take a look at your chart and just kind of read it. Numerology, everybody could create the number or create a chart, but it's the understanding of how to read the numbers, how they blend together, and having the conversation with you as to how you see yourself through the numbers as I describe them to you, and tell you the potential of each number. Okay.
Yeah, let's get into it. I guess we're gonna get into this reading.
Yeah. Okay. So as on our way down here, I was thinking, and it just came to me that I want to read your chart a little bit different. Usually I go from the big picture of things. It's what's your life path, but I want to go from how people know you, because I feel like going backwards is going to be a little bit more, you could understand a little bit more. So I'm going to go with how people see you. You. And there's a number in numerology, it's called a personality number. Okay, and yours is a 3. Okay, I could go into a deeper dive of that, but I'm going to keep it kind of on the top here. Right. And if you want to reach out to me later, you can. So yours is a 3. So people see you as fun. You're the party. You bring the party kind of thing. The thing about being a number 3, you want to make everybody happy. And that's how a 3 kind of does its life. They're very creative, very good with their voice. And their whole thing is about expressing themselves, finding a way to express yourself. A lot of people that are writers, musicians, are 3s. Also, comics are 3.
Yeah.
And as we were talking, I was talking to Jeff about, comedians. They've all had some tragedy in their life. It's a hard life, and then that's where they get their material from, their life, right? But as people see you, they don't see that other part of the 3 when you're not around a lot of people, when you're not, and I would say that, the song or Tears of a Clown. I don't know if you go back to Smokey Robinson. That's a 3, right? You're the life of the party, but when you're by yourself, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. You get in your head and maybe think about, did I say that wrong? And maybe, and how you may feel like you put your foot in your mouth quite a few times, or I've offended somebody. So it's always you're kind of thinking that, right? But that's the personality. That people do see you as a fun person, that you always have a good comeback or whatever it is, and they assume that you're always happy because you have that kind of personality.
Yeah.
But they don't see the other parts of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's accurate.
Okay.
Very accurate.
Now we're going to go into it's called the soul urge number, and this number talks about kind of what you really want in life, and that will kind of keep you in balance. And first of all, you got to get it in balance. And this energy is a 2 for you. This is a tough one because you have a lot of 2s in your chart. So the 2 itself wants peace and harmony in their life. They want a relationship that they could absolutely trust and be in balance with. So as I talk about relationships in anybody's chart, I talk about partnership instead of relationship, because we can relate to everybody. The relationships aren't great. A partnership, you kind of know where you stand, and you're both trying to give your best. So partnerships in all aspects of your life, not just your personal relationships, your love relationships, but friendships, all partnerships. That's what you really need in your life, is feeling that you're not being taken advantage of, right? Or that, or getting a little upset when people do that to you. And I feel like betrayal is a big thing with the 2. Finding that people, you try to create these really tight relationships, but then you find some kind of betrayal in that. So it's like sometimes you overgive, you'll overextend to hold those people close to you, when in reality, they didn't ask you to do a lot of things that you may feel that you need to in order to keep them in your life, that you overextend. So they get used to that, and then that's when they start taking, because you allowed that to happen. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for you to have a really good relationship in any way is just for you to know that balance, and know that balance between giving and taking in a relationship, how much you're giving, how much you're taking. You're also a very sensitive person. People might not see that about you, but you're also a very sensitive person in all aspects. I want to say sensitivities to foods, to sounds, smells, everything. And which is funny because the next time I'm going to talk about is quite the opposite. It likes all the differences, but for you, at the end of the day, it'd be a good practice to go home and really just find that thing that brings you back into center, to bring you back into like a peaceful feeling,
Yeah.
So, I often suggest salt baths, just a meditation. Don't go home and start, especially if you're feeling tired or, like in your head, find that something that's healthy that could bring you back to balance and peace. And it's for you, only for you, that you're taking care of yourself, because you really need to take care of yourself and with the energies that you have, because like I said, you do give a lot to other people. And I feel like at the end of the day, you're like, shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have felt that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because there's other things I'm going to talk about here later, that we're going to see some really good change for you coming up. So your destiny, actually, I'm going to start going up from the top now, because I really want to touch on those two aspects, because that's how you're seeing your world right now, or maybe how you're feeling right now. So you're 32, right? You just turned 32 this September.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll talk about that. Okay. So the next number, and that's the biggest number, and everybody that could go on the computer and say, okay, so what's my number? And the number that everybody knows is their life path number. And if it is just what it says, it's the path of your life, what you walk, what you understand from childhood to adult. Because what we learned in our childhood is what we take in, our fears, our talents, everything. We take those throughout life, right? So yours is a 4, but yours comes off of a 22. When you look at a 22, that's called a master number. But up until now, I say you were working with a 4 energy. And the 4 energy talks about security, feeling safe and secure, and creating that for yourself, because possibly when you were growing up, there was some instability in the home. Would you understand? Does that sound right to you?
I don't know. I grew up in a very Christian household, so I wasn't really allowed to do a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. So restrictions. There was
Yeah,
a lot
stuff
of
like
restrictions.
that. Yeah.
Okay. So when you have that kind of restriction, and I see a 4 life path, it's like you want to bust out of that kind of thing. But you see that later in life, that kind of, I don't want to say restriction, but those things that create security in your life are very important to you. Because a lot of times I was in the military when I was 18, and there was a girl there her father was a minister. And so she was the most wild person I've ever met.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I see in your destiny number. That's kind of where you went in this. But now I feel like this 22 life path is all about you being able to find some security in the way you want to. And that you do have the ability to think about something, I want to do this. And you have the ability to put it in place. And you have the people that you can lean on to help you do that. So I feel like you have a large circle of friends or people that can help you do whatever it is. So really, whatever it is you want to do in life, it's like figure out how you want to do it and do it. So with this number also, it talks about our health, everything that's our health, our finances, anything that creates stability in your home or security in your home. So having the money to buy the house, to have the car, all these things, you feel like if I don't have those, I get a little antsy.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that.
Yeah, so the 22 is a master builder. But again, those 2s bring some sensitivity in and awareness of what other people might need. So as you get older, and I feel like at 23, or I'm sorry, 32, that you are starting to really think about things and not just escapism from your family. And you know, I feel like that may have brought you here. And trying to find relationships with people here. But again, extending yourself in a way that, in this way of the 3 energy, kind of always making people laugh. Well, I feel like all that's changing for you, because now I feel like you're going to start looking at who am I in a bigger picture, not just to my friends or, but to a bigger audience maybe, or on a bigger stage, or maybe even stepping back and letting somebody else do it, but it's your thing that you're creating, That's where I feel like you're going in life. So with this life path number, some of the challenges are when you are not focused. You have to be very focused on what it is you want, but allowing people to kind of you be the leader, but and people help you with whatever it is you want to do, because they could be very controlling, very stubborn sometimes with how they see something playing out, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So with this master number 22, a lot of times they will say, this is a world stage kind of thing. There's a lot of intuition with this. So I would say your chart screams that you're intuitive, that you're sensitive somehow. Would you understand that? That you've felt people's energy. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Or just kind of know what people are thinking?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So yeah, like you're kind of a sponge for other people's energy. And this is why it's very important for you to really, I would say, detox, clean your system, find those things that bring you peace, more natural things, getting outside a lot, because your energy really needs the outdoors.
Yeah, kind of. I definitely feel that. I don't know, when I go home, like after just a day of doing a bunch of stuff, or just sort of whatever I'm doing that day, usually like I'll want to just like completely just like decompress like somehow.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, like, if I do that too much, like if I like stay in that space like too much, like it becomes bad, like for me. Like.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, if I, like...
Well, what does your decompress look like?
Yeah, I don't know, like, it's just, like, I feel like I'm just isolating, like, I don't want to be around anyone. Like, that's, like, more, like, I just feel like I just want to be alone. Like, I, like, decompress, like, I'll just be, like, chilling. Maybe I'm watching a movie or something, but then sometimes, like, I'll just be like, yeah, I don't really, like, want to be around.
Yeah, well... Like I said, your chart has these kind of oppositions where you are very much a people person, but too much of being around people and you being intuitive makes you it's overwhelming on your system, really, but just emotionally and physically, it's overwhelming. So I would understand why you want to go home and decompress and stay there, because it feels good. You don't have to deal with everything. So it's learning how to stand back and going outside when you're at a party or something, going outside, taking those few minutes, taking a little walk around your neighborhood or wherever before you go into your home. So you're kind of decompressing that way, kind of getting that energy off you, right? Because you will absorb a lot of energy. So even a lot of intuitive people or sensitive people going to a mall, they get headaches, so a lot of things that you might feel are actually somebody else's stuff. So when you come home, it's a good thing to kind of find a way to get that out. Even if you're driving home, put on your favorite music and just in the car, whatever it is, and be by yourself. Open the window or something if you can. But I feel like being outside for you is going to be a very good thing. Okay. So, and you have another master number in your chart, and that's your birthday. So, yeah. So, throughout your life, you've been sensitive. So, it's an 11, as you know. The 11 is the master teacher. And the 2, again, we talk about relationships and how we are. 2s also are great at mediation, and they're great with any aesthetic. They know how to balance things out aesthetically. So they're good with art or fine music. And I'm going to guess that if you listen to something more classical, you could really kind of feel it. So I would say music for you is a big thing because you feel it, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel music.
Yeah.
Like,
I can taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Music's a very big thing for me.
Yeah. So.
Because like I don't know, I forgot what it's called, but like when you're like listening to music or like you sort of like get goosebumps like everywhere. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Like, Frisian or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. I don't know. That happens to me. That used to happen to me all the time as a kid, and it happens a lot like still, like depending on like the type of music.
Yeah. So I totally get that. It happens to me too. A great aria would throw me over the top. But that's how you are. So being a master teacher, that really is what you've learned about relationships in yourself in your life, is what you teach. So, and it might not happen now because usually it happens much later in your life, when you realize that, okay, I've learned all these things, all these lessons about myself and how I relate to other people, and all of my emotions and all those things, and why, how I express myself and why I'm doing that. So, but with the Master 11 for you, it's extremely sensitive person again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anxiety with both master numbers, and a feeling that I know I'm supposed to do something big in the world, but I don't know what it is. And oftentimes, especially when you're younger, you don't know what it is because you haven't lived enough life to figure that out. Yeah. So I feel at your age now, you're going to start experiencing more things that might be challenging to you, but it's actually just showing you this is what you're supposed to be learning. This is what you're supposed to be learning. And if it comes up over and over, definitely, especially around relationships, because you have all these twos. How am I in relationships? Am I, looking at the last relationship and kind of judging this person on that last relationship? So it's about learning about who you are, what you want in a relationship, and finding that within yourself, who can match you. Because if we find a relationship when we just come out of a bad relationship, we're really going to go into that next one in a pretty shitty place, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. So we really want to, figure out what kind of person I want to attract, but am I going to be the right person for that person too, right?
Yeah.
So, we all want that. I don't know. We all want something different in a relationship. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't say what you might want, but yeah. So it's all those things. And I feel like coming up soon for you, you are just going to go on a path of just really understanding yourself and how you relate to everybody and what you can do in your own world, but in the world in general, because you have these master numbers. Not saying that you have to create something huge, but with these numbers, people are just kind of driven to do something big, So do you feel like there's kind of a pivot for you coming up, or that you've been wanting to pivot somewhere in what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to, right now, I'm trying to get healthy, physically, just lose weight and stuff. I'm trying to do that. That's a huge thing for me right now, and I'm trying to lean into other types of entertainment stuff, mainly comedy and just regular acting and writing and all that kind of stuff, and just and some music stuff too. But because I'm mainly been known for doing stunt stuff where it's where mainly I'm just hurting myself or doing some crazy thing, which is that stuff is still as fun to do sometimes, but I don't want to be known just for that.
Yeah.
And so I'm transitioning into doing showing everyone that I'm doing more than that.
That's not just the only than that.
Yeah. That's not the only thing that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because I mean, back when, because I'm known for doing really crazy stuff, but the thing is you can't almost kill yourself every time you do something crazy. It's it was cool that I did that stuff, but at the same time it's you can't keep on overdoing yourself each time you're gonna die.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, with these numbers, okay, I'm going to be real here. With these numbers, I see that as a people pleasing kind of thing. At a point, it became this is all people wanted to see from you or wanted from you, for some reason, and that perhaps that you felt if I don't deliver that, then I don't know who I am with these people.
Yeah, definitely. Cause I made a fan base just doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's just more I barely post stuff like that or make videos like that. I mean, at all. I'm mainly just doing comedy stuff, and I'm just making stuff that I find I don't know, whatever. If I'm oh, I really like doing this thing, and then I'll make it and put it out,
Yeah.
And that's and honestly I've actually grown with different the fan base of stuff has grown. It hasn't really went down, but like I don't really like care. Like I don't really want everyone like as a fan that I just don't want fans that just want to see me almost die all the time.
Yeah, well,
You know?
yeah, I don't think any of us would like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I don't really care about that.
So, with all that, about relationships and sensitivity, and then this feeling well, that a lot of that comes with self worth too. You have a number; it's your destiny number. Your destiny numbers really tell us kind of like where we're trying to go in our life. You and I have the same one.
Oh, nice.
It's a 5. So the 5s get along with everybody. They just love to be with everybody. They have so many projects that they're probably working on that they never really finish one, or they get bored very easily.
Yeah.
Right? We love to be around people all the time. But with your numbers, you do get tired also. You get burnt out from people. So you do like to learn new things. Other than that, that's who you are. Now, as you turn older, and I'm going to say around the age of, there's a number called the maturity number, and it actually comes in around 45, 50, and that is that 9 energy. So with you going through all your work, and I'm going to say our lives are work, right? We're always trying to better ourselves. We're always trying to create a new person, pretty much, or trying to find the best things in our life that make us happy, but also bring, balance in our life, and create a good relationship with everybody that we know, right? We're trying to create these great relationships. So with that, there might be some kind of forgiveness around work that you want to do for yourself. But when you do that, you're showing other people how to do that too. So as you get older, you might start feeling that, yes, I want to do more for other people. I'm not sure what it's going to be around, maybe writing or whatever it is, however you're going to do it, especially with these 2 master numbers and then that 9 energy coming in later in life, that you might really pivot and find some way to help a large group of people. I may say the kind of people that you can relate to, absolutely relate to, because you've gone through it, really. Yeah. That's where we could help the most, is through the kind of situations that we've been through, right, for those people. So you are missing 2 numbers in your chart. One is at 2, but you have a shitload of those, so we're not going to worry about that. Yeah. But it does show us that relationships is a big part of your life, right? Diplomacy, for you, and whatever it is, I just really want to kind of talk about you doing what you want in life and not trying to please others. That's a big thing for you. That's a huge lesson for you in life. It's like, do what you want, find those relationships that you want that are healthy relationships, and don't allow people to take advantage of your situation, your gifts, your whatever it is you can offer them. I feel like you're an excellent friend. I mean, you're like a very good friend. When you're a friend with you, you're a friend for life, right? But you like to take care of everybody. And when you do that, you could bring in some people that are, will take advantage of that. You're also missing a 7. When you're missing a 7, that's a lot of times it's the inability or the desire not to look inside, right? Yeah. So right now could be a time where you start doing some introspection. And there's times throughout our life, like I said with astrology, when certain aspects happen, it kind of creates this situation. So there are situations throughout our life where we do want to do some introspection. So usually after something big has happened in our life, or a big loss or something, where we want to be more introspective. So when that time comes for you, it's really finding the right people to help you through those kind of things, to help you kind of untangle what it is you're dealing with. Yeah. So it's, don't do it alone. Yeah. But one of your strong energies is that you have a very strong leadership skills. Very strong. So, but you kind of like hide away a little bit. You don't want to put yourself out there, but you can. Again, writing and anything where you can do things your way, but have somebody else in front of the camera, that's a great thing for you, because you know how to direct and everything. You know what you want. But the one as a leader, they have to have confidence. That's the biggest thing. If you don't have confidence, you really can't be a leader, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have confidence in yourself and what you're doing, whatever it is you're trying to put out. Just believe in that and believe in yourself. And I think as you go through life, you're just going to kind of unravel some of the things that kept you back, holding back from what you can really do. Because I feel like you can do a lot of things and you want to do a lot of things, but that confidence thing might not be there so strongly.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Like, yeah, I definitely don't feel like I have, like, full confidence.
Yeah. Well, you don't know until you try, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about that, we're going to talk about some timing stuff, right?
Okay.
Okay, for you, next year for you, it's going to be a lot of change for you. You're going to be in what they call a personal year. Mm-hmm. So this means that the one energy for you is about beginnings. Okay? Let me look at my chart here. Yeah, so you're going to be starting some really new big things next year. And you might really pivot from where you're at. Like you might start getting these ideas of what you want to do. But also, as I'm looking at your chart here, when you turn 33, there's something called cycles of life. And for you, it's from the time you were born to 32. And then, so this is your last year of that. And then you're going into an 11 cycle from 33 to 59. So you're going to have more of that intuitive energy, that more also the 2 energy in there. So you're going to be more sensitive. So use that to your advantage. You know, how you're feeling. Really let people know how you're feeling when things aren't going the way you want them to go, or that friend. And I feel like this guy's a real good friend of yours. That, you know, have that person to talk to, your go-to person to talk, that you could talk about anything, because I feel like you absolutely need to get that off your chest, how you're seriously feeling. Because when you get down, it's hard for you don't want anybody to see you that way.
Yeah.
But you need somebody to be there for you, because when they're there for you, you're there for them. And that's the kind of relationship that is going to be healthy for you. Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I usually don't like, I don't know, I usually don't like telling people how I'm feeling. Like, that's always been, like, a problem. But there's, like, a few people that I will always, like, tell them exactly, like, how.
Yeah. And also kind of think about, you know, why am I feeling this way? So there's something called shadow work. Mm-hmm. And it's about us understanding ourselves in those dark places. Mm-hmm. It's like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I always express myself this way when I come up to a certain situation?
Yeah.
You know, and it's through some kind of fear that we act out, right? And it's a fear of feeling something again from our childhood usually, right? So, you know, people telling us that we're no good, we're never going to amount to anything. So when I'm up to a challenge of creating something new, I go back to that. I go back to that child, and that's that shadow work, and kind of twisting that, saying, well, that person told me that because that's how they felt.
Yeah.
It wasn't about me. It was maybe about what they felt. So that's not true. And you have to keep telling yourself that that's not true, because, hey, I've done all these things already. So it's always stepping up to the plate and hitting, you know, knocking that ball out of the park. And I think you can do that. It's just getting out of your own way. And we all need to do that. We all have that thing that holds us back. So for you, you are coming to a lot of change. Allow yourself to change, because you're going to go, what the hell's going on in my life? Things might flip for you. But allow those things. And talking about change, I feel like you may be moving within the next 3 years. I don't know if it'd be staying around here or somewhere totally different. But there might be a move for you over the next 3 years. Okay. What else do I have for you, my friend? Really, we have one other number to really talk about, and then we could talk about whatever it is you want, and I could look at it in your chart. Next number is an essence number. It's more of an inner feeling. So a personal year runs from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and that's kind of more things that are happening in our environment. So there's potential there for us to do something. So for a one personal year, you might see something or hear something or read something that might trigger something going, oh, I want to do that now. It's also going to give you the energy to start, doing exercise or whatever it is, whatever you want to, however you want to change to create a healthier life for yourself. But this other energy is that internal energy. It's more of that too energy.
Yeah.
So you're really going to be in your emotions. I mean, you are in your emotions. You don't share them. You don't express them. You don't let people know. And I feel like with your body, a lot of it is inflammation for you, because that could be that two energy that you energetically you hold on to so much that you create this inflammation in your body. So if you think about how we think creates these emotions,
Yeah.
they get stuck in the body, right? So unless you can have a way to expel those things and kind of create a new mindset, you're going to constantly do that to yourself. So where's all that stuff going, right? So you're really, it's for you, it's allow your emotions to come out. If you cry, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're, like I said, you're very sensitive. So maybe, I don't know if you've looked at maybe things that you're allergic to, even like clothes or laundry stuff, anything that you might be allergic to. Because with these numbers, I feel like you would be very allergic to stuff, and that maybe more of a holistic approach to health is better for you. Kind of be very aware of, is this good for me? How do I feel? And I want you to say, how does this feel?
Yeah.
You right?
Yeah, no, I definitely need to do that more. Because I feel like I don't do that at all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but lately, like, even, so, this is more just, like, with eating food, but, like, I'm, like, literally thinking, like, okay, like, if I eat this, how is this going to make me, like, feel,
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, I already know, like, I've not had any occasion where I went to a Taco Bell drive-thru and, like, felt awesome. Like, after I did that. There's never been a time where I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna go write a novel now, dude. Like, I'm not gonna, that's not gonna happen.
No.
I'm gonna, like, hate my life. Like,
yeah, definitely. And I feel like, again, you're moving through life, but not really enjoying life.
Yeah.
You're not letting yourself enjoy life and all those things. Like I said, the 5 energy wants that Taco Bell, especially.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Taco Bell. Yes, we'll get Taco Bell. Let's go do that. Yeah. Not knowing that I have to run like a 10K tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We don't do the best things for ourselves sometimes. So, and I do the same thing. If, like, I see a piece of cake, I know I shouldn't eat that cake. I know what it's going to make me feel like. So that's that process. Don't just go for it because it's in your face. Take that moment, pause, go, how am I going to feel, like you just said? How am I going to feel about that? But really about everything in your life, really.
Yeah, like, how is, like, me doing this job going to feel? Like, I don't know, or how is, like that kind of stuff, too. Definitely.
Am I doing it for myself or to please somebody?
Yeah.
What do I expect from this? How am I going to feel? Or am I going to give my control over to everybody else? Am I going to give that say of what I want to do over to somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because oftentimes we let people dictate our lives. So we're not living our life. We're just in the flow of it, but we're not living it the way we want to or what's authentic to us. So it's kind of like, what kind of life? And this is something you could think about. What kind of life do I want to have for myself in 5 years? Right? Let's see where you'll be in 5 years. So in 5 years, you're going to be in an essence of 6 and a year of 6. So what does that mean? That means, let me get my glasses on before I say this for sure. Okay, let me see. So you're 32. Yeah. Yeah. So at the age of, we said 5 years? Yeah. 37. Yes, you'll be in an essence of 6 and a year of 6. So what would that mean for you in 6? That's a great time to meet that person. To usually the 6 is around home and family, responsibility to home and family, but it's also a great time to get married, get divorced, have a child. Anything like that has to do with home and family. So even if you're not in the right relationship to get married at that time, It could be a great time to think about what would I want my family, my home to look like.
Yeah.
What do I want for family? But family are friends too, so there might be some kind of responsibility to family.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you are taking some kind of community leadership role at that time too. So maybe, I mean, it could show up many ways, but it's going to be around home, family, those people that are closest to you. Okay. That's what's going to happen there. Yeah. So you got a lot going, but I just did want to emphasize that there's a lot of change for you. Yeah. And also there's something called pinnacles and challenges in a chart. And the pinnacles are energies that are really working, helping us work. They're there to support what we're doing. Yeah. And yours is a 4. You just came out of a 2, right? So, this year you came out of, next year, I'm sorry. Next year you're going into this 4. So the 2 is ending. So a little bit of that sensitivity kind of stuff is lightening up a bit. So 4 is hard work. When I say hard work, and when I say 4 and hard work, whatever you want to do, really put your back into it because it's going to pay off. It'll pay off. Now, you're in this for 9 years. So it's almost like writing a play, writing anything or growing anything where you're starting with a 1. So, right? It's all about you. What is it you want? The 2 is like, okay, who can I partner with to make this happen? 3 is about creating it. 4 is about bringing structure to it, right? 3 would be like, okay, so how are we going to do this? 4 is bringing the actual structure to it. 5 is looking at the changes that it might need, right? Because at 4 we get stuck in that thing, but there's no growth from there. So 4 is, like I said, bring some kind of structure to it. 5 is, how do we need to tweak this kind of thing? 6 is actually kind of putting it out to our friends, family, whatever it is. 7 is a higher purpose for this thing, right? 8 is where you kind of collaborate with bigger companies, or I'm going to say this is where you can make some money off of this thing. Yeah. And 9 is kind of like putting the bow on it. Okay, this thing is done. We went through 1 through 9. It's a thing, right? But taking the advantage of those energies that are supporting whatever it is. I mean, you could be your own project, right? Or how we live our life. We're our own project, but it could be an actual project too. So for you. So yeah, you have like I said, you have a lot of change coming up for you next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Yeah, so it's cool. And then the next big change for you, with that, like I said, those cycles that we go through, is going to be a 2 again. So it's almost like you're born to learn relationships.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But again, there's also the eye for quality and beauty, the ear for music. It's just like you have these very sensitive qualities to you, but people know you from, hurting yourself. So it's like it doesn't match, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we still do those fun things, because that's the energy of what you like to do in your life, is experience new and fun things with this quality of this gentleness and this balance of peace. Like, you'd make it a great yoga teacher. Or you could start your own cult, like we're talking about. We're just watching this cult stuff, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you do have you have the art of persuasion also with that 5 and 3 and those 2s. You have the art of persuasion. So be careful what you say. People believe you. I mean, whatever you say, you're trying to be honest with people, because you want them to be honest with you too.
Yeah.
So that's you. Do you have any questions about anything?
Saying there's a lot of change. How does that, like, do you see that, like, with my, like, health journey that I'm doing, and then just, like, career stuff and all that?
So with let's start with your health journey. Like I said, you're actually a very sensitive system. Your body's a sensitive system. That might be why you have some weight on you. And the always trying to figure out how you interact with people is very important. So look at those things. So with your health journey, I would say look at those things that you might be allergic to. Look at those things that cause you to want to escape, and through food or whatever, any vices that you might have. Look at those vices and what is it that triggers you to do those things. Because I feel like it's not just about hitting the gym or eating the right foods for you. It's a mental thing for you too.
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
definitely a state of mind for you. Because if you get so caught up in your mind that you're just not going to get off the couch, or you're not going to do good things for yourself, because almost like, I don't deserve that, kind of. And those things that we say, oh, this cake, I deserve this piece of cake. Well, I deserve not to eat that piece of cake. So it's a different mindset, right? I deserve to feel good in my body, so I only want to put good things in my body. Yeah. Right? So career-wise, it is about collaboration, but always making sure that your vision stays your vision. Mm-hmm. Because you might have somebody come in and try and pivot and totally change it, or you're going to have people that could come in and just help you elevate it. Mm-hmm. So finding the right people is going to be a big thing for you, whatever you do from now on. Well, from the beginning, but I feel like maybe you haven't found the right people, or the right people for the right thing at that time. But now, if you're going to pivot a little bit, it's like finding new people. Like I said, those people that are close to you, that you call family, keep those with you. But everybody else that you feel like, not quite, you felt like maybe they've taken advantage of you or something like that. It's, you're in a 9-year right now. So it is about letting go of people, things, all these things. So would you say that the beginning of this year was really the pivotal point of going, I need to change?
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, like, the beginning of this year, like, when, like, I don't know, it was pretty shitty in the beginning of the year, actually. And then, I ended up, like, it was like, I was in one of those points where I was, like, mainly, like, leaning on, like, vices, and just doing that. I was just, and, then I ended up, like, in those vices at that time was, like, I was, like, doing drugs and stuff, and then I ended up, like, going, like, I went back to rehab, and then everything, then I just been, like, building, I just feel like I've been building my life back up, like, since then. Yeah. Because I've had to do, like, I don't know, I've had to, like, that kind of scenario happen in my life, like, a lot, where it's, like, things will be good, or somewhat good, but then, like, it goes just down.
Yeah. So this is where we need to figure out how to manage those situations. Mm-hmm. Where what caused it to go down, or what caused you to say, okay, I'm gonna, I don't know, go down with this ship here, and kind of lean into the vices and not try to, I don't want to say fix it, but manage that situation in a way that's good for you. So in those places, we don't want to feel that, we don't want to experience that. That's why I was talking about those shadow things, and how do I move from that and not escape that, right? So again, you want your freedom. You want to feel good all the time. Yeah. But it's like, we can't feel good all the time. You have so many emotions that you
I wish I could just be okay with just being okay and not feeling awesome.
Yeah. So the fact that you do feel a lot of emotions, again, I just got to say, for your health, it really is about finding a way to decompress, to really get that off you at the end of the day. And when something happens, especially with this 4 energy, you like to know where things are at all the time. Yeah. So with the 4 energy, especially that life path, you do not deal well with change. Although your destiny is telling you, we need to learn how to deal with change. So with those 2 numbers together, you're constantly, you like the change, you like the environment of new things and stuff like that, but you also like stability. So it's like, go out into the world, do your fun things, but when you're home, right? Yeah. So, and that is different than home. So I feel like keeping work and home, playing outside and home, like home's your haven kind of thing, right? And that should never let that other thing come into your home. Yeah. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, because I feel for you, you have to keep those separate, because if not, you want everybody to come to the after party, which is my house, which is, no, I don't want that stuff in my home. That stays out. So it's like keeping those separate for you I think that would be very, very good for your mental health.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
Yeah. enjoy life. I mean, because that Destiny 5, like I said, they just want to travel. They
Yeah.
want to taste everything. They live life on their through their senses, really. So everything. You probably like the 2 tells me you don't want people to touch you or you do to touch other people, but the 5 and the 3 like give you're a bear hug. You know, you want,
Yeah.
and I feel like you hold yourself back from really
Yeah.
hugging people or touching people.
Yeah, I try not to touch people. No. Sorry, I had to say that.
Not
Sorry.
that way.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Not that way.
But
I feel like
no,
a
but I
disclaimer.
do like I'm definitely a hugger though, more than like if I'm saying goodbye to people,
Yeah.
you know, or like
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Or like seeing someone.
Yeah.
I like that. Like I think there's actually like some sort of study that says that you're supposed to like hug so many people a day.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
today actually. 8.
Yeah.
I think it's 8. Most people
Yeah.
do 5 and they said it's 8.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I had one time I knew this dude that was like, I don't know why I was about to say his profession, doesn't matter, but like he like every time that he would like make sure he was hugging 8 people a day, like all the time, and he was like, hey, can I have a hug? And people were like put off by it,
Mhm.
like weird, like they're like, why do you want to hug me? And he's like, no, it's not like for some weird reason. It's just because you're supposed to have 8 hugs a day. Like, and he would have to like explain it, and then they would go along with it. But also, he could have just been like manipulating. He could have been some weird hug guy.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
never know.
Like,
You never know.
but now, since I've been seeing like articles about it, I believe it more. But
Yeah.
then I was a little skeptical.
Yeah, it's 8 glasses of water and 8 glasses or 8 hugs.
Yeah.
You love people. You just love
Yeah.
people. And you don't good, bad, and ugly. Right? You love them all. So it is just being aware of who you let into your circle, right? Because I feel like you do want to do some big things, and you know, don't let people divert your dreams, like take you on
Yeah.
a different road. So this coming year, I'd say just kind of sit back and kind of think about what do I want for this? Like I said, 5 years from now, right? And how do I start making that happen? Yeah. Because I feel like you have many talents, you have many ideas, but you can't take them all. You can't go
You
forward
gotta
with them all.
follow through with like maybe a couple of them.
Yeah, I always feel like people like that have start with one and then kind of integrate something
Yeah.
else. You know,
Like I'll always have like 10 ideas. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do just 3, but then like the 3 still won't get done. But yeah, I'm always like, sometimes I'm like it's weird. Like I'll like sort of surprise myself when I do like finish something. You know?
yeah,
I'm just
But-
like, oh, thank God.
yeah. Accomplishment is like
Yeah.
a drug itself, right? When you
Yeah.
accomplish something, you're like, damn, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that adds to your self confidence. So it all kind of rolls together, right?
Yeah.
So I say just do work on those things over the next couple of years. Do have the right people around you, and kind of start looking at your past and what triggers you, because those are the things that are going to show you really your childhood and those things that you're carrying forward in life
Yeah.
that you're allowing to define you. So it's time to let some of those things go. I always say the 9-year is the energy of like this pimple ready to pop.
Yeah.
It's just bringing all the shit up to the surface. So that's probably why you've been through a lot of that stuff lately. And it's just coming up to show you what you need to work on. So, yeah.
Makes sense. So relationship wise, like, is there anything like? So I know like we were talking about relationships a lot, but some of that was like like that could be like just friends and stuff too. But like
Romantic
yeah,
relationship.
like romantically, like what does that
Well,
say about me?
I feel like, yeah, definitely. So again,
Like so.
well, you were like,
like,
so when it
everything's
comes
gonna
to
be good.
yeah, really, I feel like when you feel confident in yourself and you're your best self, that's when the right time to step into a relationship. You have so many twos around you that you're, like I said, you would make a great partner. you give everything to your partner.
Yeah.
But within that, just you be careful not to overgive in partnerships. Okay. For you, really, any time is a great time for relationships because you're always. I feel like that's just a thing for you. Let me see. So 2025, you will be in a 2 personal year. So that would be a great time. And you're also in that 2 energy of that essence, the internal, like I do want partnership. And I feel like you've always want partnership.
Yeah.
Like, but the right partner. So that could bring somebody, even in the 1 year when you're out in kind of getting these new ideas, meeting new people, because the 1 will bring new people to you, new experiences to you, new things to you, new opportunities. So within that, if you meet somebody that you feel like maybe, a new friendship could develop, but the 2, you'll see if it's going to be more than just a friendship.
Yeah.
Okay. The 3, it's fun, but it's probably not going to last that long. And so I would say 2025 would be great for you. And then what I said about 2020, maybe 2029, when you're 6 energy, that's also a great time for relationships, because anytime other than that, there's a lot of either working hard where you don't have time for a relationship, or just a lot of change and chaos. Kind of, I don't want to say chaos. Chaos can happen in a 5 year, but you have that energy. So I feel like when things do get chaotic, you can kind of roll with it as long as you don't let your emotions get too tied into it. So, and change, like, I don't know if you've changed homes a lot. If you grew up and, like, when you're growing up, did you change homes a lot?
When I was growing up, we were pretty much like, we were in the same house for the longest time. But ever since then, I've been, like, so
all
many
over.
different places. Like,
Yeah.
So.
Do you also feel like you've had many lives? I find that for myself with the 5 energy there.
Me, I mean,
The many lives of Zach.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of different storylines in my life.
Yeah,
There's different things that have happened.
Definitely. So yeah, that's that 5 energy. It's just like when I don't feel comfortable, or I don't want to do that anymore, I change. And you know when it's time to pivot from something. You just kind of like, we're done here. We're going to wrap this up and that's it. Yeah. So that's just kind of that energy of like wanting something fun. So when things get boring for you, you're like, you just want to get out of it.
Yeah, definitely. So,
but for you, it's going to be wrap it up, make sure there's a nice bow on it before you leave it, because you could leave a lot of chaos behind if you don't.
Yeah.
So again, it's like,
no, leave chaos behind.
Yeah. Don't burn bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for you, like I said, you're just, I feel like you're a kind person. People don't know this about you. People don't know a lot about you, I would say. You're a sensitive person, you're a kind person, you're a hard worker. It's just, the confidence, and maybe most people see you kind of more reckless from what you've done in the past, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. If I was looking for a partner and I wanted somebody that was a hard worker, kind, you'd be the bright person. But then all I'm seeing is the chaotic, all the stuff you've done in your past. So you got to let people get to know you. If you're looking for a partner, it's going to be something that you're going to have to let in.
Yeah.
Right. Although they maybe see you as a fun person. And people like that are not the person for you. The people that match your outer persona are not the right people for you, because they could create that chaos that your inner persona does not want.
Yeah.
You're like, I do that myself. So yeah. So you might find somebody that's much quieter, because you're the outspoken one. But a right person for you would be somebody that is also a hard worker, because I think you both are very creative also. So around here, you can't throw a stone without hitting someone that's a creative person and a hard worker.
With a screenplay.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, oops. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude.
Oh shit, you got me.
Sorry, dude.
But also,
Did you
I'll
wanna
read
be
that.
but also at the end of the day, it's a person that you just want to sit on the couch and cuddle with
Yeah.
and have that in deep conversations, stuff like that. So again, you have totally two different people, like how everybody sees you and how you see yourself at the end of the day. Well, what's interesting is that you won't know that person until you put a lot of time into that, because they're going to be kind of the same way, probably.
Yeah.
Not showing you a lot of that. But I feel like just because you are intuitive, that you'll sense that about them. And I sound like a nut right now, but I feel like you would just know, right? I know there's something good about this person. I feel like you could do that. So
Yeah.
yeah. I think you working on yourself, and you really starting to have more confidence in you. You could have confidence in your job, in your work, but having confidence in yourself is another thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm confident about like some things, like just like different things that I do work wise, I'll be confident about it, but then like just just being confident about me is not like a thing.
Yeah.
Like just like I'm not doing that at all. Like I don't feel super confident about myself all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, you have a lot of strong energy. Even the first letter of your name, the Z, holds an 8 energy. An 8 energy is somebody that has the eye to create something big. They're usually people that are like managers, CEOs, or in investments, anything to do with money, something like that. So they know how to kind of, I don't want to say command a room, but you can. When you walk in, people notice you, right?
Yeah.
And with that 2 energy, it works with that, because both of those energies want to do something good for other people. But you have so much too. I think that's where it's harder for you, and that you are the more sensitive, so that confidence doesn't come through, especially in relationships, because you're always wondering how they see me, what they want from me, what is it from me, or that I can give them. So it's always this kind of imbalance of me doing for others for them to be attracted to me, right? Instead of just being you.
Yeah.
So it's about, because like I said, all you want at the end of the day is just to cuddle on the couch with somebody you care about.
Literally. All I want.
Yeah. So, and people see you as that kind of, some way they see you as that kind of person that wants to care for, or that you do care for other people. Yeah. So, there you go.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For all this. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know a lot about me now. I know a lot about myself.
Yeah.
I was hoping you weren't gonna tell me I was gonna die soon or something.
No. I do want to say one
exact death date or something. That
Yeah.
was what I was most fearful for. Not that you would do that. Sorry.
Yeah. I did want to touch on, you said your mother passed when you were young, and that a lot of that 2 energy could be the fact that you didn't know what love really looks like, a healthy relationship looks like. So it's almost like you have to figure that out for yourself.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that 100%. Like, because that's like not. I don't know. It's just something I didn't get to really experience, at least. Like seeing that and have it like just being. I mean, I don't know. I feel like also like just growing up, like having only one of the parents or losing one of them, like it has to like affect you in so many different ways, later in your life. Like not even just like, I mean, I feel like that fucked me. Like, or not completely fucked me, but it wasn't like, it didn't really help.
You did get the needs of your mom met because she passed, and then with that, your father probably went his own way and didn't get your needs of your father met either. Yeah. So then you're kind of out there by yourself, and yours is mostly about relationships. How do I relate to anybody when I feel like there's nobody there for me, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay. Sometimes when I do this thing, these things start creeping in. So for you, and not knowing how to relate to people, I feel like you did use humor to get people to kind of like look at me.
Yeah.
And then that's where people started like, yeah, let's look at Zach. He's the funny guy. He's a fun guy. You know, he's always going to do something funny or fun.
Yeah.
But then that became what you were known for. And that's not really what I want. I just wanted people close to me. I didn't want to just be the fun guy.
Yeah.
You know, I also want that relationship with people, that close relationship. So, you know, early on in life, that kind of created that situation for you. And also the situation of like, I got to take care of myself. So that's where that 4 energy comes in. It's like, how can I do something? What can I do to create a life for myself so that I'm not out there, you know, with nothing. So that's where I felt like you hustle because you felt like you had to take care of yourself. And with that, now you're starting to feel like I have to take care of everybody in my circle too. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you so much, you know, for coming. That was awesome. Is there anything you want to plug or?
Well, I will be starting. I teach numerology too.
Okay.
I love teaching. So if you want to take a numerology class, I think it's great for anybody that's going into counseling or any kind of energy work or helping in any way. I think that numerology is just a good add-on. So, but for readings, any kind of reading, intuitive readings, mediumship readings, card readings, numerology, you can find me at Terralina LLC on Facebook and Instagram, and my links there to go to my booking page.
Awesome.
Yep.
Everyone go take that. Not everyone, but if you're into that, go take the class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like even if you don't believe in it,
Yeah.
you know, be curious and, you know, get a reading because something might, you know, really talk to you about, yeah, I am that. You know, I do that. I experience that. So, and it just really helps you to kind of clean up your life and understand that our lives are, and I hate to say that, we do have free will. But there's some things that are written. There's a lot of people that say that we are a soul in a body and not a body with a soul. So, and numerologist kind of shows us that past lives that we come here, our soul comes here to learn something. So if we think of our life like that, first of all, it's a little lighter, right?
Yeah.
It's a little lighter that I'm going to go and do something else next time. But yeah, so it's all those things that help us to get through life in a way that we understand ourselves. Yeah, and why we experience things and how we grew from those things, right? So that's that.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks everyone for watching. Stay maximum.